So we were working with creating a socket and connecting. Mind you, just because there is a server sitting somewhere else and I connect it doesn't mean that server is willing to connect to me. Okay? So you can test it for yourself. It may connect, but it may not give you any response basically. Okay? May not respond to your receive request. All right? So for example, say suppose from socket module I import socket class, right? So let's say S equals socket constructor. So I have created a socket. It's on my computer now. I wish to connect to Google, right? So let's say www.google.com and the port at Google I use is 80. 80 is the HTTP protocol. I have connected, so that's not a problem. So let me see whether I receive anything. Okay. It's not sending me anything. All right. Wait. It does not send anything. So these are the possibilities. One response, you will get something. Another response, you will get less than what you requested because possibly because there is not more to give you. Another response, there is no additional data. Okay. So the call is waiting indefinitely. Okay, because this may be problematic if the remote host has no intention of sending data. So that's where I am here, right? The remote host, Google does not want to send me any data. Sometimes the remote host will send you an empty string. Okay, that means the connection has been closed. Okay, we can on our side simply close our connection anytime we want to by saying close method. That's the point of these different options. Okay, so here I'm still waiting. You will notice it doesn't give us anything at some point. All right, on the other hand, let me make that screen available so we can see what's going on. Okay, on the other hand, here is a basic client. Okay, the two most common models for network communications are client server model and peer to peer, that is P2P model. In a client server model, the machine acting as a server waits for a client to initiate contact. For example, a web server waits for someone to make an explicit request to receive content from that website. Like right now, we are waiting, right? On the other hand, that server has been available for me to connect. So, the protocols used for client server module involves a client sending a request and the server sending a response. The software for controlling a client is usually different from the software for controlling a server. Okay? In a peer-to-peer network, so here we are different from Google. The software Google uses is different from what we have used. We have used very basic minimum software, all right? On the other hand, in a peer-to-peer network, two connected machines have more symmetric capabilities and thus each run the same software. Peer-to-peer software is often implemented by combining the separate capabilities seen in the client software and server software. Okay, so here is a very nice way of using this information, this Python socket class, to get some information from NIST. NIST is National Institute of Science and Technology. It runs servers when queried, report the current time. So here is a server meant to give us some response. Google is not a server. The server is not meant to send us any response. So nothing is happening. I'll Control C. It's not working. So I'll simply kill my shell. All right. Now launch another shell. Okay. Now let's try the following. Port 13 on NIST is the port for daytime. Okay, time server support. So there is a port 13 for daytime. So let's try the following. From socket, import socket. Okay, we have imported the class socket from the module socket. Let's construct a socket and name it connection. Connection is simply the name of the socket we have constructed. We will use this socket that we have constructed to connect to time.nist.gov at the port 13. Okay. Take your socket, that is connection. Use the method connect to the website time.nist.gov using the port 13. We are connected. Now let's receive 1024 characters worth at most. Okay, so let's try. Connection, that's the name of our socket. Receive 1024. It gave me immediately. That's why, so that's what I mean when I say NIST is waiting for people like us to contact them. So this B means binary. So it's giving us some information. All right. Notice this is the date, right? So year, month, day. That's the time over there right now. All right. So we found what is UTC. UTC, by the way, stands for Universal Time Coordinated. Okay. So that is the Greenwich Mean Time. All right. So this is the time over there, not over here. All right. Instead of getting this, so suppose I do connection dot receive 1024. It's giving me empty because it has given me all the information it's willing to give me. So this particular socket that we created is useless now. It cannot receive any more. All right. So let's close our connection. Close our socket. Now to create another way, so let's try type this out, right? Same, from socket, import socket. Let's open a new socket, construct a new socket and connect it to time.nist.gov in the port 13. We connected. Let's get our connection, receive some information. But this time, instead of just receiving the string, you see, just receiving that string, I'm going to assign it to fields and I'm going to split it. That is, all the spaces are going to be split. So if you look at fields, it's a list binary encoding of each and every piece of information, right? Of this, which one is the date? That's 0 index, that's index 1. That is the date. So date equals fields index 1. Yes. That B stands for binary encoding, so decode it. Likewise, time is this quantity, this particular string, it is binary encoded. So let's say time equals fields in index 2. Oops. And don't forget to decode it, whatever you get, because you have received information and you have received encoded information. All right. Now when you print date, you get the date. When you print time, you get the time. Okay. Next video I'll work on downloading a web page. Okay. Until then.